व्रज प्रियम् धर्म संस्थापकं वीरम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता
संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
भारतीय संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा। ज्ञान और विज्ञान यहीं से सबने पाया सारा, सबने पाया सारा। कुछ भूलों से हारा फिर से जीते देश हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
शील सेवा व्रतधारी युवा जगे पुरुषार्थी।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
त्यागशील सेवा व्रतधारी युवा जगे पुरुषार्थी। वैज्ञानिकता विनय सभ्यता स्वभाव हो निस्वार्थी, स्वभाव हो निस्वार्थी। देशभक्ति में तेजस्वी हो फिर समाज यह सारा, गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
शिवाजी बुद्ध गगन के तारे।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
महावीर गोविंद शिवाजी बुद्ध गगन के तारे। परंपरा की पुण्य चेतना उर में हम सब धारे, उर में हम सब धारे। बाल हृदय में उसे जगाकर जगे देश यह सारा, गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता
सारी दुर्बलता को राष्ट्र समर्थ बनाओ।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
त्यागो सारी दुर्बलता को राष्ट्र समर्थ बनाओ। बंधु भाव समता ममता से सबको गले लगाओ, सबको गले लगाओ। चलो विवेकानंद मार्ग पर शुभ संदेश हमारा। गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा। भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, 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 गीता परिवार हमारा।
अधरं मधुरं वदनं मधुरं नयनं मधुरं हसितं मधुरं हृदयं मधुरं गमनं मधुरम्।
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्।
वचनं मधुरं चरितं मधुरं वसनं मधुरं वलितं मधुरं चलितं मधुरं भ्रमितं मधुरम्।
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्।
वेणुर्मधुरो रेणुर्मधुराः पाणिर्मधुराः पादौ मधुरौ नृत्यं मधुरं सख्यं मधुरम्।
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्।
गीतं मधुरं पीतं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरं सुप्तं मधुरं रूपं मधुरं तिलकं मधुरम्।
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्।
तरणं मधुरं तरणं मधुरं हरणं मधुरं स्मरणं मधुरं वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरम्।
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्।
कुञ्जा मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीची मधुरा सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरा युक्तं मधुरं मुक्तं मधुरं दृष्टं मधुरं शिष्टं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरा यष्टिर्मधुरा सृष्टिर्मधुरा दलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
सद्गुणों की साधना में ध्येय ज्योति नित जले सद्गुणों की साधना में ध्येय ज्योति नित जले संग्राममय जीवन धरा पर विजय रथ ले हम चले सद्गुणों की साधना में ध्येय ज्योति नित जले हो समर्पण लखन जैसा राम जैसा त्याग हो भीष्म सा हो नियम पालन शौर्य में अभिमन्यु हो आपदाओं को कुचल कर वीर बालक हम चले सद्गुणों की साधना में ध्येय ज्योति नित जले
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी बरनउ रघुबर विमल जसु जोदायक फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज संवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए रघुपति कीनी बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतई सम भाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाँ ते, कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाँ ते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानू। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग पर ताप तुम्हारा है, प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्तन धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजे नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरना, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुरभूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय।
Jai Shri Krishna. In Zoom meeting, if you want to turn off the notification of Zoom chats, then click on the chats and then click on these three dots. Turn off notifications, click on that. Click on the mute option, and now chat's notification will not disturb you. Jai Shri Krishna.
सच्चिदानन्दं वासुदेवं व्रजप्रियं धर्मसंस्थापकं वीरं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्।
Jai Shri Krishna. Seeking the blessings of Yogeshwara Krishna, let me, Mala Narayanan from Mumbai, at the outset bow down to Param Pujya Swami Guru Govinda Dev Giriji Maharaj. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. A warm welcome to all the sadhaks who have joined us for the interpretation session of Chapter 9, Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. We all are really blessed to be associated with Gita Pariwar as we get to know the meanings of the shlokas in weekly Vivechan Satra. Let's start our session with prayer, which is considered to be an integral part of our culture, and it's an expression of our devotion. And today, Yogita Kulkarni Didi from Sydney, Australia, is going to recite Prarthana. Didi is giving seva as co-trainer and mentor in different languages, Hindi, English, and Marathi. Didi joined Gita Pariwar in March 2022. Let's invoke the blessings of Lord Krishna. Yogita Didi, please.
वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं श्रीकृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्.
Thank you, Didi, for that soulful prayer. Now it's time for Deepa Prijwalan. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityor Ma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This is an ancient Shanti mantra from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad that serves as a prayer for truth, light, and immortality. It translates to lead me from untruth to truth, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Chanting this is believed to reduce stress, bring inner peace, and foster spiritual growth. Thus, this custom contains a wealth of intellectual and spiritual meaning. Today, Kiran Sharma Didi from Delhi is going to do the honors. Didi joined Gita Pariwar in October 2021 and is giving seva as tech, group coordinator, mentor, and as a trainer. Didi, please.
निषिद्धैरप्येभिर्लुलितमकरन्दो मधुकरैः करैरिन्दोरन्तश्छुरित इव सम्भिन्नमुकुलः विधत्तां सिद्धिन्नो नयनसुभगामस्य सदसः प्रकीर्णः पुष्पाणां हरिचरणयोरञ्जलिरयम् शरदिन्दुनिभां शुभ्राम् शुभ्रवस्त्रैरलङ्कृताम् कलहंसकृतावासाम् वरदां शारदां नुमः वरदां शारदां नुमः.
Thank you for the devotional and beautiful Deepa Prijwalan. And now our Zoom platform is ready for Vivechan. I would like to inform all the participants that you may ask questions once the Vivechan is over. Raise your hands only after the session is over, please. Please do watch Geeta Sevi program and learn the various sevas you can do. Share the link of this Vivechan to your dear and near ones. Next new L1 batch is starting from August 7th. Kindly send the link to join Gita Pariwar to your near and dear ones. Tomorrow, grammar classes there. Kindly remember to attend the language which you use. Okay. Now, the grammar class is in different languages, so you can go to the class, which is your language. Now it's time for the most anticipated part of this session. Our speaker for the day is Geeta Vikas Vaidya ji from Pune. Bhaiya has traveled the world over and was an NRI for 12 years. He owns a small IT company. He has proficiency in Hindi, Marathi, English, Indonesian, Malaysian, and Spanish languages. He has been reciting all 18 chapters of Gita daily for the last 7 years. Bhaiya is a trainer for all levels and involved in trainers, selection, and training. He is also involved in teaching and revision of Vishnu Sahasranam as a member of Pune Gita Pariwar. Vikas ji also gives guidance to Gita Vratis to prepare for Sringeri Peeth Gita exam. Bhaiya himself has received first prize at the hands of Param Pujya Jagadguru Shankaracharya. Today, Vikas Bhaiya ji is going to deal with the first part of 9th chapter, Raja Vidya Rajapukya Yoga. Over to you, Bhaiya.
जय श्री कृष्ण वसुदेव सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं पूज्य स्वामी जी के चरण कमलों में कोटि कोटि नमन. A warm welcome to all of you. Today we'll start a new adhyay, 9th adhyay, Raja Vidya Rajaguhya Yoga. Before we start the adhyay, let us understand what exactly we are going to study in this adhyay. So this adhyay is one of the most, I would say, inspiring and practical adhyay for particularly family people. Lord Shri Krishna calls this knowledge as Raja Vidya, king of knowledge, and Rajaguhya, king of secrets, because it is the highest wisdom that transforms ordinary life into a spiritual journey. So how we can transfer our day-to-day life to a spiritual journey, that we'll learn from this adhyay. This knowledge is easy to practice, deeply purifying, and brings lasting peace and happiness. Lord Krishna begins this adhyay by telling Arjuna that this knowledge is meant for those who have faith and an open mind. A person who lacks faith, he remains trapped in the cycle of birth, death, suffering and all. Faith is not blind faith, andhavishwas, but trust, developed through understanding, developed through experience, and developed through sincere patience and practice. Shri Krishna explains that although he is the creator, the sustainer, and the dissolver of the entire universe, he remains unattached to his creation. Just as the wind moves everywhere while remaining in space, all beings exist in him, yet he remains independent. This teaches us an important lesson in life. Fulfill your responsibilities wholeheartedly, but do not become emotionally attached to the results or to the positions. Perform your duties with love, but without creating bondage. So this chapter beautifully explains the difference between worldly desires and spiritual devotion. Many people worship God seeking wealth or success or health or even swarga, heavenly pleasures. Such prayers may be fulfilled, but their results are temporary. Once the accumulated merits, the punya, are exhausted, worldly happiness comes to an end. We learn this beautiful shlok in this adhyay. On the other hand, those who worship God with selfless devotion, they attain lasting peace and ultimately reach the God. One of the most comforting promises in this adhyay is Krishna's assurance. Ananyas chintayanto ma yajanah paripasate tesha nityaviyuktanai yogakshemam vahamyaham. He is declaring that those who remember him with single-minded devotion, ananyachita, need not worry excessively about their future. He himself takes care of what they need and preserves what they already have. Yogakshema vahamyam. This does not encourage laziness, that God will take care of everything, I can sit idle. Rather, it teaches us to work sincerely while surrendering our anxiety to the God. Keep working sincerely, but don't get anxiety getting created in their mind. Surrender it to the God. Shri Krishna emphasizes that he accepts even the simplest offering, a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or even a drop of water, if it is offered with love and devotion. Patram pushpam phalam tavi yami bhaktya prejati tadam bhakti paradam ashnami pretatmanaha. So this beautiful sloka also we are going to learn. God does not judge us by the cost of our offering, but by the purity of our heart. This is an encouraging message for all of us. Daily worship need not be elaborate. A few moments of sincere prayer, gratitude, and remembrance are enough for Shri Krishna to strengthen our relationship with the God. Another practical teaching of this adhyaya is that every action can become an act of worship. Shri Krishna advises Arjuna to dedicate all actions, eating, working, giving charity, performing rituals, or even daily household activities to him. When work becomes worship, ordinary life becomes extraordinary. Cooking for family, earning honestly, caring for parents, raising children, or serving society, all of this can become sacred, divya, when performed with the right attitude. Shri Krishna also removes all feelings of inferiority by declaring that everyone is eligible for his grace. Apijat Sudaracharo Bhajate Yamanya, that slok we are going to learn in this. Regardless of one's birth, his gender, his social status, or even the past papa karma mistakes he has done, anyone who sincerely turns towards him can attain the highest spiritual goal of life. This message inspires hope, equality, and compassion in us. No one is beyond redemption if they sincerely choose the path of righteousness. Then the Adhyaya concludes with one of the most famous teachings of Bhagavad-Gītā. Fix your mind on me, become my devotee, worship me, bow down to me, thus united with me, you shall surely come to me. Manmana bhavan bhakto madhya jiman namaskuru mami vashis yuktvevam atmana mat parayana. So this is the end of this chapter. So this is not merely a call to ritual worship, but an invitation to live every moment in God's remembrance, through love, through humility, through honesty and selfless service. So the practical lessons that we get from this adhyaya are: begin and end each day with remembrance of God. Perform every duty sincerely without anxiety about the results. Offer every action to God as an act of worship. Cultivate faith, Shraddha, instead of constant worry. Practice gratitude of everything received. Treat every person with respect, seeing God present in all. Remember that love and devotion are most valuable when rather than the expensive rituals. And believe that no mistake is too great to overcome through sincere repentance and righteous living. So this adhyaya teaches us that spirituality does not require abandoning family life. Instead, it transforms family life itself into a path of devotion. By combining sincere work, selfless love, unwavering faith, and constant remembrance of God, every home can become a place of peace, joy, and divine presence. So we can create heaven out of our home when we practice the message given by Krishna in this adhyaya. With this small background, we'll start reading the adhyaya now. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā Atha Navamodhyāyah. Shri Bhagavanuvacho Idantu te guhyatamam pravakshyamena suyave jnanam vijnana sahitai yajnatva mokshase shubhat. First sloka. Guhyatamam. Guhyatamam is the greatest secret. Pravakshami, I shall explain to you. Anasuyabe. This is important. To one who is free from envy, free from prejudice, and free from fault-finding attitude. Is Anasuyabe. Jnanam, the spiritual knowledge. Vijnana Saitam, knowledge combined with direct personal experience. Jnana and Vijnana, both God is going to give us. Moksha say, you shall be liberated, Ashubhat, from all sorrows, all negativities, all bondages of life. So Shri Krishna starts the Adhyaya telling Arjuna that because you are free from jealousy and have a sincere heart, you are Anasuyave, I shall now reveal to you the most confidential knowledge along with its practical realization. I will not only give you knowledge, but I will also tell you how it is to be practiced. Dhyan and Vidyan, both I will give you. By understanding and living this wisdom, you shall become free from all sufferings and all inauspiciousness. The most inauspicious thing, according to Bhagavad-Gītā, in our life is coming back again and again to the cycle of birth and death. Getting moksha is the purpose of our life. But we miss that in every life and we keep coming back here. That is inauspicious. Lord Shri Krishna opens his heart to Arjuna. He is about to reveal what he calls the greatest secret, Guhyatamam. This is not a secret because God wants to hide it from humanity. Rather, it is secret because many people overlook it while chasing wealth, status, power, or temporary pleasures in life. They ignore this knowledge. The truth is always available. This Jnana is always available. But only a prepared mind recognizes its value. Shri Krishna first praises Arjuna by calling him Anasuyave, one who is free from jealousy and fault-finding. He is a true devotee, Arjuna. This is an important qualification for learning, particularly in spirituality. A person who constantly criticizes, argues for the sake of argument, or refuses to listen cannot absorb wisdom. Just as fertile soil allows a seed to grow, a humble, open heart allows spiritual knowledge to blossom. This lesson is especially relevant in our day-to-day family life. Every relationship thrives when we listen with respect instead of immediately judging right and wrong. Whether it is a spouse or parent or child or colleague, genuine understanding begins with when we stop looking only for faults and start appreciating the good in others. Our nature is to start finding fault. If somebody speaks one sentence, we try to find where he has gone wrong. God says, don't be of this attitude. Shri Krishna also distinguishes between Jnana and Vijnana. This is very important. Knowledge is knowing that anger harms relationships. Everybody knows. Gussa buri cheez hai. Everybody knows. Realization is remaining calm when someone speaks harshly to you. Bringing that Jnana in your day-to-day behavior is Vijnana. So knowledge is reading that honesty brings peace of mind. Okay, everybody knows this principle. Realization is choosing honesty even when dishonesty appears profitable. This is Vijnana. Bhagavad-Gītā is therefore not merely a book to be admired or memorized. It is a guide to be lived. Gita padhe, padhaye, or जीवन में लाए. Pujya Swamiji always says this. So every teaching becomes meaningful only when it enters our daily action. When our Jnana becomes Vijnana, then it has the real fruits. Shri Krishna assures Arjuna that this wisdom frees a person from Ashubha, everything that causes inner suffering, fear, confusion, unhappiness. External challenges may still arise, but the mind becomes steadily ready for that. It becomes steady and capable of facing them with courage and faith. A young man, he eagerly studied the driving manual before obtaining his license, driving license. He memorized every traffic rule and could answer every question correctly. However, when he first sat behind the steering wheel, he realized that reading alone was not enough. By reading the manual how to drive, you can't drive the car. Only regular practice gave him confidence and skill. Spiritual life is similar. Reading Bhagavad Gita provides jnana. Like that fellow got traffic rules, we understand the rules of life, Bhagavad Gita. Applying its teachings while facing stress, disagreements, temptations, and responsibilities, it develops Vijnana. That is the real driving of the car. Living wisdom, that is the Vijnana. Knowledge informs the mind, practice transforms the character. Dhyan should be practiced so that our behavior, it reflects that we have got this wisdom. Guest visited a friend's house, for example, and complained that the internet was not working. The host smiled and asked, "Did you enter the Wi-Fi password of my Wi-Fi?" They admitted they had not. The connection was available all along, but without correct password, they could not access the internet. God's grace is always present. We don't enter the correct password. Humility, sincerity, and faith are like the passwords that allow us to experience God's grace. An ego-filled mind with criticism and negativity, it blocks the connection with the God. A grateful and open heart experiences God's presence even in ordinary moments. So the practical lessons for all of us is develop humility before trying to gain spiritual knowledge. Listen with an open mind instead of constantly criticizing others. Convert spiritual learning into daily habits. Judge your progress not by how much you know, but by how peacefully you live. Read a few shlokas of Gita regularly and practice at least one teaching every day. Remember that true freedom begins with inner transformation, not external success. Next shloka. Rajavidya rajaguhyam pavitramidamuttamam pratyakshavagaman dharmyam susugam kartum avyayam. Rajavidya, the king of, or the highest of all knowledge. This is Rajavidya. Rajaguhyam, the greatest and most confidential secret. Pavitram, pure, purifying. Uttamam, supreme, highest. Pratyakshaavagamam, directly experienced and realized. This is not theoretical knowledge. This can be directly experienced and realized. Dharmyam, in accordance with the righteousness and in accordance with the truth, is dharmyam. Susukam kartum, easy and joyful to practice. Avyayam, eternal and imperishable. So Krishna says that this spiritual wisdom is the king of all knowledge and greatest secret. It is the purest knowledge directly experienced in daily life, in harmony with righteousness, easy and joyful to practice, and its benefits are everlasting. Avyayam. So in this shloka, Shri Krishna praises the wisdom he is about to teach by describing its unique qualities. He calls it Rajavidya, the highest among all branches of knowledge. We study many subjects in life. We study science, medicine, engineering, business, law, technology, and whatnot. These help us earn a livelihood. Okay, good. Improve our standard of living. Very good. However, spiritual wisdom teaches us how to live peacefully, how to live lovingly, how to live purposefully. This knowledge helps us to improve the quality of our life. Shri Krishna calls it Rajaguhyam, the greatest secret. It is not hidden because God wishes to keep it hidden from us. It remains hidden because people often search for happiness outside themselves. Happiness is inside. We keep searching outside. So this is the Guhyam. In wealth, we start searching happiness. In fame, in positions, in recognition, we start searching happiness. while lasting peace is discovered through a loving relationship with God and a disciplined mind. This is the Guhyam. The Lord says this knowledge is Pavitram, purest. Just as clean water washes away physical dirt, spiritual wisdom gradually removes impurities such as selfishness, anger, greed, jealousy, and fear. A person who regularly reflects, does Atma Chintan on teachings of Bhagavad Gita, he begins to respond to life's challenges with patience instead of irritation, and with compassion instead of resentment. Shri Krishna Bhagavan further says that this wisdom is pratyakshavagaman. Very important. It can be experienced directly. Spirituality is not merely a matter of belief. It is something which we verify through practice. When we forgive instead of taking revenge, our mind becomes lighter. When we perform our duties without selfishness, we experience inner satisfaction. These are the direct experiences of spiritual truth. Another beautiful expression is Susukam Kartum, easy and joyful to practice. God does not demand complicated rituals from everyone. Family people can practice spirituality while living normal lives. Cooking meals with love, earning honestly, caring for parents, helping children with their studies, speaking truthfully, praying together, and remembering God while working are all forms of spiritual practice. So no difference between executing our material responsibilities and spirituality. It is the way we execute our material responsibilities. Finally, Shri Krishna says that this wisdom is avyayam, meaning its benefits never diminish. Money can be lost, health can decline, and worldly achievements may fade with time. But virtues like compassion, virtues like devotion, bhakti, self-control, mano nigraha, indriya nigraha, and inner peace, they remain valuable throughout life and continue to enrich the soul. An elderly gentleman, he received a modern smartphone from his grandchildren. At first, he used it only for making phone calls. He thought, this is phone, so I should make phone calls only. One day, his grandson patiently showed him how to use maps, how to make video calls, online banking, health reminders, and emergency services. The same phone suddenly became far more useful because he had learned its true capabilities. Similarly, many people see religion only as performing rituals. सुबह उठ के पूजा कर दिया, हो गया spirituality. The Bhagavad Gita reveals the deeper purpose of spirituality, to transform our thinking, our relationships, and attitude towards life. When we understand and practice these teachings of Bhagavad Gita, we discover the immense potential already present within us. Like we never knew that mobile phone can be used for all these varieties of activities. We can attend meetings, we can do banking, we can call video calls, we can do anything with mobile these days, isn't it? Similarly, with this wisdom which we get through Bhagavad Gita, we discover immense potential that this wisdom has and already present in us. A doctor advised a busy executive to walk for just 30 minutes every day to maintain good health. Initially, he doubted that such a simple habit could make any difference. 30 minutes और चलने से क्या होगा? Like that, he doubted. Yet, after several months of regular walking, he noticed better health, improved sleep, reduced stress, and greater energy. The practice was simple, enjoyable, and produced lasting benefits. Likewise, Shri Krishna says that the spiritual practice is easy and joyful. Susukam kartum avyayam. Reading a few shlokas of Gita daily, offering a short prayer before taking meals, expressing gratitude, or spending a few minutes in quiet remembrance of God. may appear simple, but when practiced consistently, they bring profound and produce profound and lasting transformations within us. So the conclusion of this shloka is, path to God is not complicated or reserved only for selected few. It is the highest knowledge because it teaches us the art of living with wisdom, with devotion, and with inner peace. It is easy to practice while living our family life and bring results that can be experienced every day. By sincerely following this royal knowledge, our homes can become place of harmony, our work can become worship, and our life becomes a joyful journey towards the God. Third shloka. Ashraddhana purusha dharmasya parantapo aprapyamanyavartante pratyu samsara vartmani. Now this is a qualification. Who can get this knowledge? Ashraddhana, those who lack faith, Shraddha. Purusha, the human beings. Dharmasya, of this divine teaching and the righteous path. Aprapya, without attaining Mam, me, the Supreme Lord. Nivartante, they return again and again. Mrityu, death. Samsar, the cycle of worldly existence. Vartmani, on the path. Shri Krishna says, Arjuna, the destroyer of enemies, Parantapa, those who lack faith in these divine teachings do not attain me. They continue to wander in the endless cycle of birth, death, and worldly sufferings. So this is a qualification. You should have Shraddha in Krishna to absorb this knowledge. In this shloka, Lord Shri Krishna highlights one of the most essential qualities for spiritual growth, Shraddha. After revealing that wisdom of this Adhyaya, Rajavidya Rajayoga Yoga is the highest knowledge, it is Rajavidya, Shri Krishna Bhagavan now explains why some people benefit from it while others do not. Rajavidya book is available everywhere, Gita book is available everywhere. Why all not are getting benefited out of it? The difference is not intelligence, their wealth, their education, or their social status. The difference is Shraddha, faith. Some have faith, some do not have faith. That is the only difference. Faith does not mean accepting something blindly, without thinking. In Bhagavad Gita, faith means sincere willingness to learn, to practice, and to verify the truth through experience. It is similar to the confidence a patient has in a qualified doctor. That is Shraddha. A patient may not understand every detail of medicine, yet he follows the prescription because he trusts the doctor's knowledge. That is Shraddha. As the treatment works, the trust becomes stronger through personal experience. Similarly, Shri Krishna invites us to practice his teachings. आपको दवाई दे रहा हूँ, दवाई लीजिए with an open mind. Reading Bhagavad Gita alone is not enough. When we try to remain calm during conflict, perform our duties selflessly, forgive others, or remember God every day while performing our responsibilities, we begin to experience the truth of his words. That experience strengthens our Shraddha. So God says, try this once. Shri Krishna wants that those who reject spiritual wisdom without examining it remain caught in samsara, the endless cycle of dissatisfaction, attachment, fear, and sorrow. Even while living comfortably, a person without inner direction may constantly worry about success, about wealth, about health, about relationships, or about the future. Bhagavad Gita teaches us that real freedom begins not when life becomes problem-free, but when the mind becomes God-centered and balanced. That is real happiness in life. For family people like us, this teaching is highly practical. Every household faces challenges, financial pressures sometimes, misunderstandings, more often than not, career uncertainties, illness, changing family circumstances. Every family experiences this. Faith does not remove these situations overnight, but it gives us the strength, the patience, and wisdom to face them without losing hope. Faith also encourages perseverance. A gardener waters a seed every day, even though no plant is visible for several days. पानी डाल दिया और पौधा आया, ऐसा होता है क्या? He continues because he trusts the natural process. Likewise, spiritual progress often happens gradually. You have to water it every day. Small acts of daily prayer, honest work, kindness, self-control, and gratitude slowly transform our character. Like a small seed grows into a big tree, small spiritual practice every day will transform our character one day. Even if the changes are not immediately noticeable, they do take place. A young boy wanted to learn violin. During the first few months, the sound he produced were unpleasant. Nobody could understand what he's playing. And he often felt discouraged. He would say, I'm playing this song, but what he's playing, nobody would understand what he's playing. This happens, no? We also experience this. His teacher encouraged him to continue practicing daily with patience. After 2 years of disciplined effort, he confidently performed on stage and experienced the joy of music. Spiritual growth follows similar pattern. You have to play the violin every day, practice violin every day. Daily prayer, meditation, study of Bhagavad-Gītā, and practicing kindness may seem like small efforts, but over time, they produce remarkable inner harmony. Faith keeps us practicing with results when results become evident in our life. So the practical lessons for us are: cultivate faith through study, through self-reflection, and regular practice. Do not expect instant spiritual transformation. Growth takes time. Face life's difficulties with trust in God rather than fear. Read a few shlokas of Bhagavad-Gītā every day and apply at least one teaching of Gita in life every day. Encourage family prayer. When all of us sit together in family and pray together, it has a different effect. Encourage discussions in the family on spiritual values. Remember that faith grows stronger through personal experience, just as confidence grows through repeated success. So when you attend Gita class, you understand few shlokas that day. Speak about those shlokas in your family. Let your parents, your spouse, your children know about what you are learning. Let them participate in the discussions. This is how we can create spiritual environment in our home. Next shloka. Maya tadavidam sarvai jagadavyaktamurtina mastani sarvabhutani nachahanteshvavastitaha. Lord Shri Krishna says, in my unmanifest form, I pervade the entire universe. Maya tadavidam sarvai amurtina. All living beings exist in me. Masthani sarvabhutani. Yet I am not confined within them. Nachahanteshvavastitaha. So in this profound shloka, Shri Krishna reveals one of the deepest truths of Bhagavad-Gītā. God is present everywhere, yet He is not limited by anything in creation. He creates this universe, but is not limited to this universe only. His divine presence fills the entire universe, although He cannot be seen with ordinary eyes. We cannot see electricity flowing through wires in our homes, yet we know it is present because the light glows, the fans rotate, appliances function. In the same way, we may not see God directly, but His presence is reflected in order of nature, the rhythm of life, the beauty of creation, and the consciousness within every living being. Shri Krishna says, Maya tatamidam sarvam. I pervade this entire universe. This means there is no place where God is absent. He is here with me, He is there with you there at your home. He is present in mountains, in rivers, in forests, in animals, and in human beings as well. More importantly, He is present in every heart as the source of life and awareness. 15th Adhyaya you have studied, Mamayavam Shivji Goloke, and Sarvasya Amritan Vishnu. However, Shri Krishna immediately adds, Na chahan desh bhavastitaha. I am not confined with them. I am not confined within them. Not that I am only within them and nowhere else. Although God is present everywhere, He is much greater than the universe. Universe is just His one creation. Just as ocean gives rise to countless waves, but is not limited to any single wave. God supports all beings without becoming restricted by any one of them. This understanding transforms the way family people live their lives. If we truly believe that God resides in every heart, we naturally become more respectful, compassionate, and forgiving. We speak gently because we see every person as a child of God. We become honest because God is the unseen witness to every action that we take. We care for nature because it is the manifestation of His creation. This sloka also teaches us that God is always available. Maya tadavidam sarvai, He is available everywhere. Many people think they can pray only in temple or during rituals. Sri Krishna reminds us that His presence is everywhere, not only in temples. A mother preparing meals with love, a father earning honestly, a student studying sincerely, or a grandparent caring for the grandchildren, all can remember God while performing their daily duties. At the same time, Shri Krishna prevents us from reducing God to any one form or any one place. Temples, sacred images, and rituals are valuable because they help us focus our mind. But God Himself is infinite. He cannot be contained within a building or within a statue or even in the entire universe. This understanding, it deepens devotion while removing narrow thinking in our day-to-day life. A family installed Wi-Fi in their home. Each member used different device. Somebody using laptop, somebody using mobile, somebody using tablet, or somebody using a smart television. Though the devices look different and perform different functions, all were connected through the same invisible network. Similarly, every human being has a different personality, different profession, different age, and different background. Yet, the same divine presence sustains everyone. When we remember this, we stop judging people merely by their external differences and begin treating everyone with dignity and with kindness. So we can see Gita happening around us every day. We need to change our vision. Then we can see Gita happening around us. Another small story. A school building had many classrooms, each one with its own window. Every room was illuminated by sunlight. One child thought each classroom had its own separate sun. The teacher smiled and explained that the same sun was shining through all the windows of all the classes. Likewise, the same God shines through every living being. Bodies and minds are different, but the divine source is one. Recognizing this truth reduces hatred, jealousy, and discrimination while increasing love and unity within the family and also in the society. So this shloka expands our vision of God from being limited to temple or ritual to recognizing Him as the all-pervading reality of the universe. At the same time, Shri Krishna reminds us that God is infinitely greater than creation and cannot be confined by it. For family people, this teaching brings a beautiful transformation. Every home becomes a place of worship, every duty becomes an offering, and every relationship becomes an opportunity to honor the divine present in all. When we live with this awareness, our lives become filled with reverence, with compassion, and with lasting peace. Next shloka. Nachamastani bhutani pashyame yogameshwaram bhutavrunnaja bhutasto mamatma bhutavavanaha. Shri Krishna says, and yet the beings do not fully dwell in me. Earlier he said, all are in me. Now he says, yet the beings do not fully dwell in me. What does it mean exactly? We'll see. Behold my divine mystery. Although I sustain and nourish all beings and bring them into existence, I remain unattached and unaffected by them. Nachamasthani, not existing in me. Bhutani, all living beings. Pashyam is to behold, to understand. Yogam Aishwaram, my divine power, my wondrous mystery. Bhutavrit, the supporter and sustainer of all beings. Bhutastha, dwelling in all beings. Bhutabhavana, the creator and nourisher of all beings. So Shri Krishna says, and yet the beings do not really dwell in me. Behold my divine mystery. Although I sustain and nourish all beings and bring them into existence, I remain unattached and unaffected by them. In the earlier shloka, Shri Krishna said that all beings exist in him. Now he makes a statement that appears contradictory. Nor do beings truly exist in me. Why this contradiction? Shri Krishna immediately says, behold my divine mystery. This is to be read together. Behold my divine mystery. This apparent contradiction is meant to expand our understanding of God's limitless nature. Lord is the creator, the supporter and nourisher of the entire universe. Every living being depends upon him for life, for energy, for intelligence, and for existence. Yet, God himself remains completely independent, untouched, and unaffected by the activities of the world. A useful way to understand this is by thinking of sun. The sun shines equally on gardens, deserts, rivers, hospitals, factories, villages, cities, everywhere, isn't it? It enables plants to grow and life to nourish. But it is not affected by the actions taking place on the earth. If the accident takes place on the earth, is the sun affected because of that? Likewise, God gives life and strength to every being. Yet he remains pure, complete, and unaffected by the good or bad actions of individuals on the earth or in this universe. For family people like us, this shloka teaches a very practical lesson about performing responsibilities without becoming emotionally entangled. Parents lovingly care for their children, very good. Guide them, educate for education, very good. And pray for their well-being, very good. However, as children grow, parents must gradually allow them to make their own choices. Don't get attached with them for the whole of their lives. Loving support does not mean controlling every aspect of another person's life. Similarly, we should perform our duties sincerely, but avoid excessive attachment to results. We may work hard, help others, and fulfill our responsibilities with dedication. But we should remember that every individual has his own destiny, his own choices, and his own karma. How can you change all of this? This understanding reduces anxiety and emotional exhaustion. Shri Krishna calls himself Bhutabhrut and Bhutabhavana. Both the roles, Bhutabhrut and Bhutabhavana. The sustainer and nourisher of all, Bhutabhrut. This reminds us that we are not the ultimate controller of our lives. We often think everything depends entirely on me. I will decide what I will do. While responsibility is important, such thinking creates unnecessary stress. God asks us to do our best while remembering that He is the ultimate support behind all existences. He is the Bhuta Bhrut. A respected school principal, he created an excellent institution by appointing capable teachers, establishing good systems, and providing proper facilities in the school. Very good. Every day, hundreds of students learned and grew because of his leadership. Yet, the principal did not interfere in every classroom every minute. He trusted the system while remaining the guiding force behind it. Similarly, God sustains the universe through his divine laws and presence. Yet he is not limited by every individual event. Recognizing this, it helps us develop trust in the divine order of life. So the lessons for us are: perform your duties sincerely, but avoid unhealthy attachment to results. Remember that God is the ultimate sustainer of every member of your family, not you. Support others with love without trying to control every aspect of their lives. It's very important in today's life. Parents keep controlling their children and even their daughter-in-laws. This should be stopped. Reduce anxiety by trusting God's wisdom along with your own efforts. Recognize that success comes through sincere work combined with divine grace. And learn to balance responsibility with inner detachment. This is the golden rule. Don't give up responsibilities. Keep performing your responsibilities, but internally, inner side, you remain detached. So this shloka reveals a wonderful mystery of God's nature. He supports, he nourishes, and sustains the entire universe, yet he remains completely free and untouched by its limitations. This divine example teaches us how to live wisely. As family people, we should fulfill our responsibilities with love, with dedication, and with compassion, while remaining free from excessive attachment and anxiety. While we remember that God is the ultimate protector and sustainer, we experience greater peace when we remember this. We experience greater faith, stronger faith, and the courage to face life's uncertainties with confidence that God is there. He is supporting me. He will take care of my problems. He is a Bhuta Bhrut. Next shloka. यथाकाशस्थितो नेत्तं वायुः सर्वत्र गो महान् तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि मस्तानि इत्युपधारयो. God says, just as mighty wind which moves everywhere always rests in the sky, in the space. Similarly, understand that all living beings exist in me. So Lord Krishna gives Arjuna a simple yet profound example from nature. How is the relationship between Shri Krishna and all jivas? He says that just as the wind moves freely in every direction, but always remains within the vast space, similarly, all beings live, they move and act within him. We cannot see space, yet everything exists in the space. Birds fly in it, clouds move through it, aeroplanes travel across it, and yet space remains untouched by all these activities. Likewise, God is invisible, all-pervading presence, whom the entire universe exists. He supports everything without becoming limited or affected by anything. For a family person like us, this teaching changes the way we look at life. We often think that we are independent individuals managing our homes, our careers, our finances, and our relationships solely through our own efforts. God says, no, boss, you're wrong. Krishna gently reminds us that all of our abilities, all of our opportunities, and even our everyday existence depends upon the divine. Just as fish cannot live outside water, we cannot exist outside God's presence, even though we may not always be aware of this particular fact. Consider again the case of internet. Millions of people send emails, they watch videos, attend online meetings. We are discussing online only, and use countless apps every day. Each user performs different activities. Yet all these actions are possible only because of an invisible network connecting everything. Most people, they never think about this, about the network itself. They only notice the application of that network. They are not worried as to the illiterate people. They use also internet, but do they know how it works? They don't know, but still it works for them. Similarly, we see people, we see animals, we see plants, we see mountains, we see stars, but we often forget the divine presence that supports them all. Shri Krishna reminds us to recognize that unseen foundation of everything. Another example is again electricity, which we discussed already. So this understanding can transform family relationships. When we begin to see that the same divine presence resides in our spouse, in our children, in our parents, in our neighbors, and in our colleagues, respect naturally increases. Quarrels reduce because we stop seeing others merely as difficult personalities and begin to see them as expressions of the same divine supreme reality. This shloka teaches us humility. Success should not make us arrogant, and failure should not make us hopeless. We're instruments functioning within God's vast creation. Our duty is to perform our responsibilities sincerely while remembering that the divine is the source of all strength. Just as the wind cannot exist outside space, none of us exists outside God. Whether we are aware of Him or not, He constantly supports and sustains us with unconditional love. So live your life with awareness that God is the unseen foundation of every relationship, every achievement, and every breath. When we remember this truth, ordinary life itself becomes a sacred journey. Next, Shloka 7th. Sarvabhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshe punastani kalpadau visrujamyaham. Lord Shri Krishna says, Kaunteya, Kuntiputra Arjuna, at the end of every cosmic cycle, kalpa, all beings merge into my prakriti, my divine nature. And at the beginning of next cycle, I send them forth again. So in this shloka, Shri Krishna explains the eternal cycle of creation, dissolution, and recreation. Everything in the universe has a beginning, a period of existence, and an end. Seasons change, flowers bloom and wither, children grow into adults, and old buildings are replaced by new ones. Similarly, the entire universe also goes through cycles. At the end of one cosmic cycle, all living beings return to the God's divine nature, and when the next cycle begins, He creates them again. This teaching reminds us that nothing in the material world is permanent. Our wealth, fame, beauty, possessions, and even our physical body are all temporary. Only God and soul are eternal. For family people like us, this understanding is very valuable. We naturally love our family, care for our home, and work harder for financial security. Bhagavad-Gītā never asks us to abandon these responsibilities. Instead, it teaches us not to become excessively attached to temporary things. We should use our possessions wisely, love our family deeply, But remember that everything belongs to God, is entrusted to us for a limited time. This perspective introduces anxiety. Many worries arise because we try to control everything. Our children's future, our investments, our reputation, our health. Krishna reminds us that there is a divine intelligence governing the universe. You're not the boss. We should perform our duties sincerely while accepting that the ultimate control rests with that divine power, whom we call Sri Krishna or God or Paramatma or whatever. A father and his young daughter spent an afternoon building a beautiful sand castle on a beach. They carefully made towers, walls, and tiny windows. When we sit on the sea beach, we also play like this. The little girl was delighted with their creation. As evening approached, the tide slowly came in. Wave after wave touched the castle until it finally dissolved back into sand. The girl looked disappointed. Her father gently held her hand and said, "The castle has disappeared, but the sand is still there. Tomorrow we can build another one." The girl smiled and happily began planning a new castle for the next visit. Life is much like this. Houses, careers, businesses, and possessions are all like sand castles. They are meaningful and worth building with love and dedication, yes, but they are not permanent. The true foundation is the God who remains unchanged through every cycle of creation. When we remember this, we continue to work hard and care for our family, but without fear or excessive attachment. We enjoy God's gifts with gratitude, knowing that everything comes from Him and ultimately returns to Him. So fulfill your family responsibilities with love and with sincerity, but place your ultimate trust in God, the eternal source from whom all creations arise and into whom it finally will return, including our family members. Now, these two shlokas are worth doing some meditation upon. How to do meditation on these two shlokas? Yatha kashyasityam vayu sarvataro mahan tadha sarvani bhutani masthanityapadharayo. As the mighty wind moving everywhere always rests in space, so do all beings rest in me. And seventh shloka we studied, sarvabhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshe punastani kalpadav visrajamyaham. At the end of cosmic cycle, all beings merge into my prakriti, and at the beginning of the next cycle, I send them forth again. So how to do meditation? I always insist that unless we do meditation on Gita shlokas, the message of Bhagavad Gita does not get deeply rooted in our mind. To make it deeply rooted in our mind, dhyan, meditation is the only option. So let us try how to do dhyan on these two shlokas. Prepare yourself for dhyan. 2 minutes will prepare ourselves. Sit comfortably with your spine straight, erect. Close your eyes gently. Relax your face, your shoulders, your chest, and your hands. Take 5 slow breaths, 5 times. With each exhalation, silently repeat, I surrender this moment to the Lord. Allow your breathing to become natural. Next step, which we'll do for 2 minutes, notice your body. Observe your breathing. Observe your thoughts. Do not stop them. Simply watch as a witness. Silently remind yourself, I am the observer. Now observe sounds around you. They rise, they disappear. You remain the witness. Now we'll do first meditation on slok number 6. Imagine a vast blue sky stretching endlessly in every direction. No walls, no limits, just infinite space. Now notice the wind moving through the sky. Strong winds, gentle breeze, storms, calm air, yet the sky never moves. It simply allows everything. Now contemplate. The wind cannot exist outside the sky. It may be weak, it may be normal, it may be strong. It cannot exist outside the sky. Likewise, every person, every tree, every mountain, every river, every planet, every galaxy exists within the God. Silently repeat, everything exists in God. Take a pause and feel this deeply. Spend few moments in this thought that everything exists in God. In the next step, expand your awareness. Imagine that your house exists in God. Your family exists in God. Your office exists in God. Your city exists in God. This total complete earth exists in God. The sun exists in God. The galaxies exist in God. Now imagine yourself. Your body exists in Him. Your thoughts arise in Him. Your emotions arise in Him. You are never outside Him. Silently repeat this 3 times. I live in the divine. And stay with this feeling that I live in the divine. When you stay with this feeling for a longer time, this mental peace, it starts affecting your daily behavior. Now we'll do meditation on Slok 7. Like earlier Sloka, do pranayam for some time, get your breathing established well, normal. Then slowly close your eyes and visualize waves arising from the ocean. One wave appears, another, thousands of them appear, millions of them appear. Then every wave quietly merges back into the ocean. Nothing is lost. Only forms disappear. Now visualize. Leaves grow, leaves fall. Flowers bloom, flowers fade. Children are born, people grow old. Besides, our bodies return to the nature. Again, new life appears. Remember the death in family, remember also the birth of someone in the family. So body return to nature, again new life appears. Everything follows one eternal rhythm. Silently contemplate, forms appear and disappear. The divine alone remains. Apply it to yourself. Think of your own life, your childhood, your school, your youth, your career, your relationships. Every stage appeared, stayed for a while, and then passed away. Yet, one thing has remained unchanged. What is that? The awareness that says, I am. This I in you has remained unchanged. That awareness has silently witnessed every stage of your life. Rest in that awareness that this I is going to remain unchanged. Then bring the mind something causing worry. For example, an health issue, a financial concern, a relationship. Now imagine placing it into the hands of Lord Krishna. Silently say, this too belongs to you, your divine play. This also belongs to you, Krishna. Feel the burden becoming lighter after you handing it over to Krishna. Repeat slowly. Nothing is permanent. Everything returns to you, including my miseries. Remain silent. Then experience oneness. Imagine the whole universe floating in an infinite ocean of divine consciousness. Nothing is outside him. You are not separate. Feel yourself surrounded by the divine presence. Silently repeat, God is my origin, God is my support, God is my destination. Stay with this awareness for a few moments. And when you want to close down meditation, the closing prayer, join your palms mentally and pray mentally. Huh? Oh Lord Shri Krishna, you are the infinite space in which this universe exists. You are the source from which all beings arise and refuge into which all return. So you are the refuge of all. Help me see your presence in every person, in every event, and in every moment. Remove my fear of change by reminding me that you alone are eternal. Rest everything is going to change. May I live with humility, surrender, and unwavering faith, knowing that I always abide in you. And end this prayer with Om Tat Sat. Then take 3 deep breaths and gently open your eyes. Carry this awareness that just as the wind is never apart from the sky, you are never apart from the divine. Let this insight accompany you throughout the day, in your work, in your relationships, in your joys, in your challenges. This is the living meditation of Bhagavad Gita, which you can practice on many shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, next shloka. 8th. Prakatim swam vaštabhya visrujami punah punah bhutagramimam kristam avasham prakritir vashat. Shri Krishna says, controlling my own divine prakriti, nature, I create again and again the entire multitude of beings who act according to the laws of nature. So in this shloka, Shri Krishna explains that the creation of the universe is not a one-time event. Again and again it happens. He manifests the world through his divine power called Prakriti, nature. Every living being is born, grows, acts according to his inherent nature, and eventually passes away. This continuous cycle is governed by the divine. Shri Krishna also says that living beings are avasham prakritir vashat. They function according to the influence of Prakriti, the nature. This does not mean that human beings are hopeless robots. Rather, our body, our mind, our emotions, habits, and instincts are all influenced by the 3 gunas of Prakriti, Sat, Parajotamo, which we learn in 14th Adhyaya, 17th Adhyaya, and also in 18th Adhyaya. Unless we become spiritually aware, we are often driven by these tendencies without realizing it, that we are under the influence of Sattva, Raja, or Tama. For a family person, this shloka has a very practical lesson. Every member of family has a different nature. One child may be calm and thoughtful, another energetic and adventurous. One spouse may be highly organized, while the other may be spontaneous. Parents and children may also have different temperaments. Depends on their gunas, Sattva, Rajatama. Many families the conflicts arise because we expect everyone to think and behave exactly like us. Shri Krishna reminds us that different people are shaped by different natural tendencies. Instead of reacting with frustration, we should respond with patience, with understanding, and with wisdom. At the same time, spiritual practice like prayer, self-discipline, and good company, as well as study of Gita, helps us gradually arise above our lower tendencies and cultivate noble qualities. So if we are Rajasi, we tend to become Sattvic. A gardener, he planted roses, jasmine, and mango trees, and tulsi in the same garden. One day, his grandson asked him, why don't all these plants produce the same flower or fruits? The gardener smiled and replied, each plant grows according to its own nature. I cannot expect a mango tree to give roses or a rose plant to bear mangoes. My duty is to give each one proper water, proper sunlight, and proper care. The grandson understood. Similarly, every member of our family has a unique personality given by nature. Instead of constantly comparing or criticizing one another, we should provide love, guidance, and encouragement so that each person can grow into the best version of themselves. Somebody's mango, somebody's apple, let him grow naturally. Lord Krishna, the divine gardener, lovingly sustains the whole world. He knows that each soul progresses at its own pace. If God is patient with us, we also should be patient with our beloved ones. God has patience, we don't have. Why so? So, accept people's differences with understanding. Fulfill your responsibilities with compassion, and remember that while nature shapes our tendencies, devotion to God and sincere efforts can transform our character and lead us towards spiritual growth. Idea is to become sattvic. Next sloka. न चमान्तानि कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जयो उदासीनमदासीनमसक्तन्तेषु कर्मसु. Dhananjaya, Arjuna, these actions do not bind me. न चमान्तानि कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय. I remain unattached to all these activities, like one who is merely a witness, and therefore I am never affected by them. Udasīnam-udasīnam-asaktanteshu karmasu. So in the previous sloka, Shri Krishna explains that under his supervision, Prakriti creates, sustains, and dissolves the universe repeatedly. A natural question arises. If God is responsible for the creation and management of the universe, does he become bound by his own actions, just as human beings are bound by their karmas? Bhagavan ne bhi karma kiya hai na, so he is bound by his karma. This shloka answers that question. Shri Krishna says that although countless cosmic activities take place through his divine power, none of them bind him. Why? Our karma will bind us. God's karma will not bind him. Why? Because he performs without ego, without desire, and without attachment. Human beings become bound by karma not because they act, but because they act with the ideas of I am the doer, I must enjoy the results. Okay, face the consequence then. We expect appreciation, we expect recognition, success, or personal gain. These expectations create attachment, and attachment creates bondage. The Lord has none of these limitations. He has nothing to gain, nothing to lose, and no unfulfilled desire. His actions are purely out of his divine nature and compassion. Therefore, he remains udasinavat, like an impartial witness. Udasin means udasinvat means impartial witness only. This does not mean that he is indifferent or uncaring. Rather, he is free from personal attachment, while being deeply concerned for the welfare of all beings, but no personal attachment. A good analogy again is of the sun. The sun shines equally on a palace, on a temple, or a hospital, or even a prison. It neither becomes proud because flowers bloom in its light, nor feels guilty because someone misuses the daylight and commits some crime. It simply performs its nature without attachment. Similarly, the God sustains the universe impartially while remaining untouched by its changing events. This shloka teaches us one of the greatest principles of Karma Yoga. The goal is not to stop working, but to work without selfish attachment, like the God does. A householder can learn this lesson in everyday life. A parent lovingly raises children without expecting them to fulfill every personal ambition. A teacher sincerely educates students without demanding constant praise from them. A doctor treats patients with dedication without becoming arrogant when the treatment succeeds or broken when outcomes are unfavorable despite his sincere efforts. Such work purifies the mind because it is performed as a service rather than as a possession. The word asaktam is especially significant here. Detachment does not mean lack of love or lack of responsibility. It means freedom from selfish expectation. That is asaktam. One can care deeply and work wholeheartedly while remaining inwardly peaceful. For family people, this teaching is invaluable. Perform every duty with excellence, but surrender the results to God. Do your best in your profession, in your family, or in your society. But remember that success and failure are not entirely in human hands. This attitude removes anxiety, reduces our ego, ahankar, and brings inner peace. Ultimately, Shri Krishna is inviting us to imitate his way of working. मैं कैसे करता हूँ हिसाब करो. Fully engaged, completely responsible, yet inwardly free. When actions are performed in this spirit, they cease to become chains, bondage, instead become a path to liberation. So same karma can either lead us to bondage or can lead us to liberation. Choice is ours, how we perform the work. A senior surgeon had performed thousands of successful operations over his distinguished career. Before every surgery, he would silently pray, Lord, let these hands become your instruments. When the operation succeeded, he thanked God and praised his entire medical team. When an operation failed, despite everyone's best efforts, he accepted the outcome with humility, comforted the patient's family, and learned from the experience and continued serving others without losing heart. One of his students asked him, Sir, how do you remain so calm after both success and failure? The surgeon replied, My responsibility is to give my best. The final result is not mine to control. I work with full commitment, but I do not claim ownership over the outcome. This is the living message of Bhagavad Gita. Like the Lord, we should perform our duties with sincerity, with dedication, and with compassion, yet remain free from ego and attachment. Kartatva Viman and expectation of reward. So such work not only benefits the world, but also liberates us who perform this karma. Next sloka. Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagadve parivartate. Lord Krishna says, under my supervision, nature gives birth to all moving and non-moving beings. Sacharacharam. Arjuna, because of my guidance, the entire universe functions and continues its cycle. In this sloka, Shri Krishna explains the relationship between God and nature, Prakriti and Purush. Nature performs all visible activities of creation. Plants grow, rivers flow, seasons change, children are born, stars move in their orbits, all Prakriti. However, Krishna says that all this happens under his divine supervision. Prakriti may be doing it, but under his divine supervision. Just as a well-organized system requires intelligent direction, the universe also functions according to the supreme intelligence of God. This does not mean God personally performs every small activity in the universe. Rather, he is the supreme director whose laws maintain order throughout the creation. Just as traffic moves smoothly because of traffic rules, or a large company functions efficiently because of the wise leadership, the universe operates according to divine laws established by God. For family people, this shloka offers great reassurance. Life often seems uncertain. We worry about our children's future, our careers, our health, our finances, and unexpected challenges. At times we feel that everything is happening randomly. Sri Krishna reminds us that behind that apparent uncertainty is a divine intelligence guiding the universe. This understanding encourages us to do our duties sincerely while trusting God's larger plan. He has a different plan. We are doing our job. He has his plan. Faith does not eliminate problems, but it gives us the strength to face them with calmness and with hope. When things happen differently from our expectations, instead of becoming bitter and asking why God has done this to me, we can ask, what is God teaching me through this experience? Next sloka. Avajananti ma mudha manushin tanumashritam param bhamajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Lord Krishna says, foolish people, mudha, disregard me when I appear in a human form. They do not understand my supreme divine nature. Avajananti ma mudha manushin tanumashritam param bhamajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. They don't understand my supreme divine nature as the Lord of all beings. So in this sloka, Shri Krishna is making a small complaint against all of us. He points out a common human weakness. We often judge by outward experience and fail to recognize inner greatness. When the Supreme Lord took birth as Shri Krishna, many people saw him only as an ordinary human being. Many people tried to kill him also. How many accepted that he is God? Now we are singing praises for Krishna. When he was there, how many people are considering him as God? They saw his body, but failed to perceive his divine nature. This lesson is not limited to Krishna's time. Even today, we tend to value people based on their wealth, based on their position, based on their clothing and social status. We may ignore a humble person while admiring someone merely because of fame or influence. Bhagavad-Gītā teaches us to look beyond appearances and recognize the divine spark present in every individual. For family people like us, this teaching has a profound practical meaning. In our own homes, we often take our loved one for granted. Workers' tireless efforts may go unnoticed. Elderly parents may be ignored because they are no longer learning or earning. Not learning how to live life, and they are not earning also. They have stopped earning, retired. Children may be judged only by their marks instead of their character. Kitne mark mile aapko? Then you are good. We fail to appreciate the hidden love and sacrifice that sustains a family. Shri Krishna reminds us that true worth lies not in external appearance, but in inner qualities such as love, honesty, compassion, humility, and devotion. When we learn to value these qualities instead of external appearance, our relationships become richer and more harmonious. This sloka also encourages to strengthen our faith. God may not always appear in the miraculous form. चार हाथ वाला God आपके सामने नहीं आएगा कभी. He often reaches us through a caring parent, a sincere teacher, or a wise friend, or even a stranger who helps us in times of need. A heart filled with devotion recognizes God's presence in these ordinary moments. We miss that moment to recognize God in our life. A famous music academy invited an elderly teacher dressed in a simple clothes to conduct a workshop. Seeing his plain appearance, a few young students assumed he was just an assistant and paid very little attention to him. When the session began, the old man started singing. His voice was so beautiful, so filled with emotion that the entire hall fell silent. Every note reflected decades of practice and devotion. By the end of the class, the students stood up with folded hands, realizing they had misguided a true master. One student later admitted, "We judged his clothes instead of his wisdom. This is exactly what Shri Krishna warns us against. We should not judge people or even God only by external appearance. So look beyond appearances and appreciate the divine qualities within people. Respect your family members for their love, for their sacrifice, and their character rather than their position or their achievement or their appearance. A heart that learns to recognize God's presence in ordinary people and everyday life gradually grows in wisdom, in humility, and in devotion, and ultimately reaches the God. Next shloka. Mogasha karmano mogha jnanavichetasah rakshasi masurinchaiva prakriti mohinim shritaha. Shri Krishna says, those who reject the divine are possessed of vain hopes, moghasha, futile actions, moga karmana, and useless knowledge, moga jnana. Their minds are confused because they follow demonic and selfish tendencies that delude them. So in this shloka, Lord Krishna explains what happens when a person lives without higher values or without spiritual awareness. He uses three striking expressions. Moghasha, futile or empty hopes. Moga karmana, actions that ultimately prove fruitless. Moga jnana, knowledge that does not lead to wisdom. Shri Krishna is not criticizing education or ambition or hard work. Instead, he is warning against a life driven by selfish desires, by greed, by ego, and by pride. A person may be highly educated, may be wealthy and successful, but if these achievements are used only for personal gain and without compassion or righteousness, they fail to bring lasting happiness. For family people, this shloka is extremely relevant. Modern life encourages us to chase promotions, bigger houses, bigger cars, expensive gadgets, and social recognition. Okay. There is nothing wrong with these goals. But if they become the sole purpose of life, the peace gradually disappears. Endless comparison with others creates stress, jealousy, and dissatisfaction. Bhagavad Gita teaches us that success should not be accompanied by values such as honesty, kindness, gratitude, and devotion. A family becomes truly prosperous not merely because of its income, but because its members trust one another. They speak respectfully with each other and remember God in their daily lives. The demonic nature, Asuri mentioned here, does not necessarily refer to frightening beings. He may be a very nice-looking gentleman. It refers to qualities like arrogance, cruelty, dishonesty, uncontrolled anger, and selfishness. This is Asura. These tendencies destroy the peace within the individual and also within the family. On the other hand, divine qualities such as truthfulness, patience, forgiveness, and generosity, they create harmony and joy. Two friends started similar business at the same time. The first businessman believed that profit was everything. He cheated customers, underpaid his employees, and ignored his family's needs. His business grew quickly, but his children stopped talking to him. His employees left one by one, and he constantly lived with anxiety. The second businessman, he earned honestly, he treated employees fairly, kept his promise, and spent time with his family. His business grew more slowly, but he enjoyed respect, loyal customers, and peaceful home. Years later, someone asked which businessman was truly successful. The answer was obvious. Wealth alone did not determine the success. Character did. Shri Krishna's message is the same. Actions guided only by selfishness may bring temporary gains, but they cannot bring lasting fulfillment. When we work, our work is guided by righteousness and devotion, both worldly success and inner peace, they become possible when we are guided by righteousness and devotion. So the lesson for us is build your family life not only on ambition, but on values. Wealth, education, and achievements become meaningful only when they are guided by honesty, compassion, humility, and faith in God. Such a life leads to true success, both in this world and in the spiritual journey. We stop our journey for the day. We will take up next lokas in the next session. Thank you so much for your patience. Now the forum is open for you to raise your questions. Jai Shri Krishna.
That was an enlightening session. Bhaiya discussed in detail about the royal secrets, unlocking the highest wisdom of life and spirituality. To make us understand the shlokas learned this week, he narrated many anecdotes. The lessons we learned were profound. Thank you so much, Bhaiya, for this wonderful session. We would be seeing more of this in coming sessions. Now it's time for questions and answers. I request those who want to ask questions to raise their hands and switch on their cameras and wait for their turn. A reminder to everyone to please do some seva in Gita Pariwar as per your talent. Bhaiya, over to you
Jai
for
Shri
questions.
Krishna. Feel free to ask your questions. How did you
Jai
like the dhyan?
Jai Shri
I'll ask
Krishna,
you a
sir.
question.
Sir, in Shloka 12, sir,
Yeah.
it said Rakshasim, Asurim, Chaiva Prakritim. What is the difference between Rakshasi and Asuri Prakriti?
Asuri is your internal tendencies, which we
Okay.
discussed. Rakshasi, Masurin, Chaiva, Prakriti, Mohinim, Shritaha. So when we say Rakshasi, demonic nature, here it does not necessarily refer to Rakshasi means he will look like a Rakshas. Or Pravruti is Asuri. That Pravruti is criticized more. Our Pravrutis are Asuris and Rakshasis, which means arrogance in our day-to-day behavior, cruelty. A dog is sitting at the corner, we unnecessarily throw a stone at him. No need. So this is Asuri and Rakshasi both. Dishonesty, showing dishonesty. The pravritis that we learn in 16th Adhyay, Daivi Prakriti and Asuri Prakriti. So those two Prakritis are Asuri and Rakshasi both. These tendencies destroy the peace within individual and within the family. So those pravrittis which do not help us to cultivate spirituality but destroy the peace of mind are both Asuri and Rakshasi. You cannot draw a distinct line between what is Asuri and what is Rakshasi. It is your behavior that proves whether you are of Asuri Rakshasi tendency or of your Sattvic tendency.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Geeta ji, can you unmute yourself?
Bhaiya, Didi, what is my question is uh, Anskuti and Sanskuti. Or Om Jai Shri Krishna. What that? Jai Shri Krishna. Om Shri Jai Shri Krishna.
Huh? Om Jai Shri Krishna, what is that?
Om Shri Jai Shri Krishna and Jai Shri Krishna.
Om is a sacred syllable which we pronounce at the beginning of any mantra or any Sattvic karma. To say Om is inviting God, Uma, the creator, the maintainer, and the destroyer. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So we are inviting Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, the Paramatma in all these three forms. Creator, sustainer, and destroyer. And then you take the name of your preferred God, whether it is Shri Krishna, whether it is Shri Ram, or whether it is Shiva, or whether it is Durga, anyone. So Om is only a declaration that you are inviting gods.
Okay, Bhaiya, thank you.
Any more questions? I can't see. Yeah. Amrita ji. Amritaji, have you switched on your camera? We can't see you. दीदी अमृता जी है क्या? मुझे दिख नहीं रहे हैं. हाँ, अंकिता जी नहीं, अमृता. ओके. Okay, yeah. I think no more hand raises. Yeah.
Okay.
Bhaiya, acha. Can I go towards end? Yeah. Okay. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Vikas Bhaiya ji for clearing the doubts of our sadhak. On behalf of Geeta Pariwar and myself, I extend sincere thanks to the technical team consisting of Ira Agarwal ji and Rajini ji and all those who have been at the backstage. Okay, Amrita ji wants to ask it seems. Yeah. Amrita ji, you please switch on your camera. Yeah. Amrita ji, yeah. You are not able to unmute, Didi. So can you send a message? Yeah, you are unmuted. Yeah.
Didi, I have rains here, so my connection is not proper. Can
Okay.
I?
Yeah. No need of camera. We can hear you. Yeah.
Yes, Dada. Can I ask a question for you?
Yeah, please.
How
Yes.
to deal with some bad experiences of life, like people took advantage of us, betrayed us, mocked at us, brought misery to our life. Though we had done only good for them, helped them. Anyways, they did this all out of being jealous of us. How to deal with this? Though I have forgiven them, but can't forget the situations and tears what they have brought for us. So how can we interpret this in our life? How can we deal with this with our life?
This happens with everybody in life. Everybody does not have very sweet moments only to cherish. They have bad moments also. People have cheated, people have insulted, people have robbed them of their property or possessions. This happens with many people. But you are great, I should say, that you have forgiven them all. This is the only way to live Gita. Let us not get our inner peace disturbed because of all these external things happening in our life. Let us remain only as a mute witness to all this. We do suffer, we may cry in pain, allow it to happen. All external things, let them remain external.
My question is, how can we interpret this? Like, it is past life karma or the lessons to be learned for us? What
It
is
is
this?
both.
Why did it happen?
It is
Though our
both. As we discussed in one of the sessions, our karma phalas come in three forms: Kriyaman, Sanchit, and Prarabdha. So when despite doing good actions, we get some miseries in life, we call it Prarabdha. Prarabdha is what? Some karmas are sitting in our Sanchit, that means our deposit. When the karma will spring in front of us, at what moment we don't know. It is not in our hands, it is in the hands of Prakriti. When the phala will mature, when the deposit matures, we get the interest on that deposit or the maturity of that deposit. Similarly, when the karma mature in our sanchit, our deposit, it springs up in front of us as a karma phala. So that we call as prarabdha. We do everything right. 6 people face the interview. All people do very well. One gets selected, others do not. Why? Prarabdha. It is the karma phala. So when you face some such insults or miseries in life, blame it on karma phala and get rid of it. That is the only way. Don't start imagining why only me, why not others. Instead of that, understand this from Gita. It is the return reward of my own karmas, maybe of this life or the past lives. I have repaid it through this by facing this misery. Now my balance sheet is clear. At the end of life, if my balance sheet is clear, I am destined for moksha. No more karmas to be suffered. This is clearance of balance sheet. When miseries take place in our life, look at them, look at those miseries in this perspective. That I am clearing my balance sheet. This is the only way to remain peaceful in disturbing circumstances. And this is the way to live Gita as well. Is it okay, Amritaji?
Yes, Dada. Thank you so much. The best part of your interpretations are like you give the nearest meanings to the shlokas, so that it will be helpful for us to do the Kantastikaran of the shlokas. Thank
Yes,
you
right.
for
Thank
your
you.
valuable divine knowledge for
Thank
sharing
you.
with us. Thank you, Dada. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Usha Didi, Sushila Didi, you both raise your hands and switch on your camera. If not possible, you can unmute and ask questions. If you are not able to open your camera, you can ask questions. Unmute and ask. Usha Didi, you may ask first. Usha Didi? Okay, Sushila Didi, whoever has come first, you can ask. Sushila Ji, you can ask. Yeah.
Jai Shri Krishna Didi and Bhaiya. I
Yes,
want to, I always have this doubt that we worship God and goddesses every day and all. But thing is, God is one. So how do we understand this concept that God is one? At the same time, we have different forms of gods and goddesses which we worship in our daily life. And
Okay.
one day for
Excellent.
this God are important, another day another God is important for us. Like that, how do we say? How do we understand that concept?
Yeah, very good. It's a very good question, very pertinent question. There are two ways to reply this. One, in our tradition, we attach material pleasure of a specific nature to a specific god. You want dhana, property, we attach it to Lakshmi. You want vidyas, we attach it to Saraswati. You want peace of mind, prosperity, you attach to Shri Ganesha. So there are different demigods which we have nominated in our Sanskriti that they are attached to this kind of fulfillment of material desires. So we worship them. In Gita also they say that Krishna has said this, that you keep worshipping your Ishta Devata, nothing wrong with that. But whatever phalas you get by worshipping your Ishta Devata are temporary. If you worship Paramatma, then you get moksha. By worshipping your Ishta Devata, what you get is fulfillment of material desire, which is temporary. The money will come, will go, the health will come and health will deteriorate. Nothing is permanent, as we discussed today also. So that is one way of looking at it. Second way is when we worship different gods, like Vishnu Sahasranam is the best example. In Vishnu Sahasranam, we worship 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu. Now, if the God is one, why to call him 1,000 different names? What is the logic?
Okay.
The logic is each name of God is a representation of his different gunas. So Lord Vishnu's gunas are different, are all 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu. When we study Vishnu Sahasranam and we start understanding the meaning of each name of Lord Vishnu, we start really understanding what is Lord Vishnu. Enormous. His gunas are indescribable. So every name is a representation of guna. That's why different gods have different gunas, different names. Lord Vishnu has 1,000 names, as we said. So when we take God's name, we should remember the gunas of that God and try to bring those gunas in us. That is should be the purpose of learning Gita as well as Vishnu Sahasranam. You can identify with any God, but try to bring their gunas in us.
Thank you, Vyas. Thank you.
Yeah, Ushaji?
Jai Shri Krishna. It is not exactly related to ninth chapter, but see, there is a school of thought which says we should not ask God for anything, surrender to Him. There is another saying that if you ask only, God will get, which is the correct one. You're always, there is a chanchalan inside, whether to ask, not to ask, if to ask, what happens. You're being very worldly, that sort of thing. What
Yes.
exactly we are supposed to do?
The first one is the correct. Don't ask anything to the God. By asking anything to the God, you are making it inferior to yourself. You are showing as if he does not know what you want. You know better than him. Is it true that you know better than him? He knows what you want. Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. He has said in this ninth sloka, ninth adhyaya also. If we take the next session, we will discuss that sloka also. He takes care of our yoga. What we want, what we need, that he knows better. He gives us that yoga. And ksham is what we have and what we need to maintain securely. He does that ksham also. But what we want, that he does not give. What we need, that he gives. Yoga means not only material desires. If a person may be very, very filthy rich, but if the God thinks that he is my devotee, but the money is spoiling him, he may reduce our property. There may be a robbery at our place. That is also yoga. It is also causing us this extra money with us is finding different ways of our behavior. And he understands that money is spoiling my devotee. If he has less money, he will come to me. So yoga is not fulfilling our materialistic desire, but to understand what we need in life. And those needs to maintain is kshema. God knows better than us. So instead of asking anything, we should keep only worshipping him without expecting anything in return. Go to the temple, fold your hands, say a mantra or a stotra, and come back without asking anything. The lightness that you feel in the heart will be incomparable. Rather than going every day to the temple and asking everything, God will say, oh, this beggar has come here again. If somebody knocks your door every day and says, give me 100 rupees, give me 200 rupees, what he will say? One day he will say, tell him I am not yet at home. God, we don't want God to say this to us one day. That God, don't come to me with your demands every day. So why don't we go to God without asking anything? We go him only for mental peace. That I taking your name, I feel peace of my mind. So I come here only for that. I am not coming here for any material demands. To say that unless we ask, God does not give, is wrong. Is wrong. So whosoever say that unless we ask, God does not give, he has not understood spirituality. He has not understood Gita.
But don't all our prayers have some, like you take that Mrityunjaya Homa, we are asking for our good health and all. Isn't that a sort of request also?
See, every pothi or even Vishnu Sahasranam has a Falashruti. Okay. That is because people want to know, if I study this stotra or I read this pothi or this Quran, what will I gain? But those are all materialistic desires. Falashrutis are made, basically they encourage you to read that stotra. But after reading it so many times, if you read Vishnu Sahasranam 100 times, you will stop reading Falashruti one day. Because you will understand that the main crux of Vishnu Sahasranam is not reading that Falashruti. That has to come without your reading it. Yasya Smarana Matrana Janma Samsara Bandhanat. That has to come when you take his.
But yes, that too. Mind.
This sakam karma is not the right way to get moksha. If you keep asking everything, God will keep on giving you, but then that will put you under bondage. You want bondage and faithful life, useful life now, or you want a moksha? Choice is yours. So Gita teaches us, don't ask for anything in return. You are reading Gita and are asking some demands from God, that I am reading Gita, God give me this. God say, okay, you are making a
It's not
contract with me.
exactly a demand, but some things are very attached. Like
You call it demand, you want it sankalpa, whatever. When the Guruji comes at our place to perform Satyanarayan Puja, 5 minutes we'll spend on sankalpa only. This puja will get you this, for your children, this, for your family, this. If you are a businessman, for your employees, this, for your relative, this. So we perform puja by paying 100 rupees to that Guruji, and we keep demanding from God. That kind of sankalpa is not right in spirituality. It is wrong to say that unless we ask, God does not give. That notion itself is wrong. We should keep.
So again, we come whether we should do the prayers.
We should continue our prayers, of course.
What a
Continuing
prayers? It is a request or plea.
as a sakam karma. It can start as a sakam karma, but at the end of spirituality, it should get converted into nishkam karma. That is the end station of your spirituality. If you keep asking till the last moment of your life, then you have not learned the Gita. That is what God will say. That I have said in Gita so many places that don't expect return reward of your karma until the end of your life. You are asking that only. Don't even ask for heaven. Don't ask for any returns for your karma. God knows what to give you. The best thing that He can give you is the moksha, and that is what we want. Without asking if we get moksha, what more we want? By asking, we make a big house, big car, big property. God will say, okay, you ask for this, you take this. But at the end of life, come back again to the cycle of birth and death. Face the consequences. We want that or we want moksha. Choice is ours.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we can move towards the end. Yeah. But yeah, it was a beautiful question and beautiful answer. Yeah, it's a lesson we should learn. It's not to expect anything. And our aim should be for moksha only. That is beautiful. Yeah. So thank you, Iraji and Rajini-ji, and for all others who have been at the backstage for their relentless and efficient effort in making the session a great success. May I take this opportunity to thank all those who attended this session. Please do continue your Gita sadhana and attend these sessions to enrich your spiritual knowledge. Today, Shri ji from Pune is going to recite Prarthana to submit today's Vivechan at the lotus feet of Parabrahma Parapurushottama. Didi joined Geeta Pariwar in March 2024 and is a co-trainer as well as a mentor. Let's invoke the blessings of Bhagavan. Didi, please.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Yes, Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna. Yogesham Satchidanandam Vasudevam Vrajapriyam Dharma Samstapakam Virang Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Shri Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you, Didi, for that melodious prayer. Now it's time for Hanuman Chalisa. I request each one of you to be present for Hanuman Chalisa. Didi, Hanuman Chalisa, please.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारि बरनउँ रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फलचारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र ध्वजा विराजय कांधे मुंज जनेऊ साजय शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सिरहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर सहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही समभाई सहस वदन तुम रोजस गावै अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीना तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानू प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाहि दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होतन आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज समारो आपै तीनों लोक हाकते कापै भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवै महावीर जब नाम सुनावै नासै रोग हरै सब वीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावै सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै चारों जुग प्रताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नो निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावै अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटई मिटई सम पीरा जो सुमिरै हनुमत बलबीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़ हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय.
Thank you, everyone. May our week ahead be brighter and more beautiful. We shall see you back on another enlightening session next week. Till then, Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna, Bhaiya. Jai Shri Krishna.